Hey, what's good, guys? TriStar Pictures 82 back again, and this is part 2 of my Laserdisc update as of November 5th, 2013, where in part 1 I showed you guys my new Laserdisc player that I got to replace my other one. But anyways, for part 2, I'm going to actually show you guys all the new Laserdisc tiles that I picked up, and I picked up a shitload of them. I mean, I went to this record store in Las Vegas while I was there and picked up a fair amount of titles there because they had a huge selection of Laserdisc and other Laserdisc tiles that I got from this store called Amoeba, which is in downtown LA. So yeah, well, anyways, let's get started. Now, first off, I'm gonna show off the Columbia TriStar Laserdisc tiles that I picked up. And the first one I have right here is a 1981 Columbia Pictures Home Entertainment Laserdisc release of California Suite, released in 1978 by Columbia Pictures. So, yep, there's the front, and there's the back, right there. Okay, now let me slide out the disc. And there's the disc itself. So, yep, that's the Columbia Pictures Home Entertainment Laserdisc release of California Suite. Right there. Okay. And the next one I got right here is an RCA Columbia Pictures Home Video Laserdisc release of The Big Chill, released in 1983 by Columbia Pictures. So, yep, there's the front and the back. And let me pull out the Laserdisc itself. And there it is right there, The Big Chill. So, yep, that's the RCA Columbia Pictures Home Video Laserdisc release of The Big Chill right there. Okay. And moving on, next up I got right here is a RCA Columbia Pictures Home Video Laserdisc release that is co-distributed under Image Entertainment, and that is Suspect, released in 1987 by TriStar Pictures, and it stars Cher the singer as well as Dennis Quaid. So yeah, well, anyways, there's the front and there's the side right there. And let me go ahead and show you the Laserdisc itself. And there it is, Suspect, right there. So, yep, that's the RCA Columbia Pictures Home Video Laserdisc co-distributed under Image Entertainment release of Suspect, right there. So, yep. Okay, moving on. Next up here is a Columbia TriStar Home Video release of The Prince of Tides, released in 1991 by Columbia Pictures. So, and this is also deluxe widescreen. So, yeah, well, anyways, there's the front and the back right there. And let me go ahead and slide out the Laserdisc itself. And there it is right there. So, yep, that's the 1992 Columbia TriStar Home Video Laserdisc release of The Prince of Tides, right there. And next up I got right here is another Columbia TriStar Home Video Laserdisc release, and that is Sleepless in Seattle, released in 1993 by TriStar Pictures. And this is the first film to use the current TriStar logo as well. So, yeah, and this movie stars Tom Hanks. So, and this is also a deluxe widescreen version Laserdisc release. So, yeah, well, anyways, there's the front and in the back. And let me go ahead and show you the disc itself. And there's the disc right there. So, yep, that's the 1993 Columbia TriStar Home Video Laserdisc release of Sleepless in Seattle right there. So, yeah. Alright, next up I'm going to be showing off the Universal tiles that I picked up on Laserdisc. And starting off here, I have is a rare 1980 MCA Discovision release of The Electric Horseman, released in 1979 by Universal and Columbia Pictures. So yep, MCA Discovision. This was the first Laserdisc manufacturer from the 1970s, in which, at the time, before Laserdisc was called Laserdisc, this was the name it had, MCA Discovision, and then they changed the name to Vision, and before eventually selling with the name Laserdisc. So yep, and MCA Discovision released their first title, which was Jaws, in late 1978, and then shortly afterwards, and throughout 1979, 1980, and 81, MCA Discovision released a bunch of Universal films onto Laserdisc, since at the time MCA owned Universal. So yeah, they released a bunch of Universal films, as well as a couple of educational programs and sports programs and music concerts and whatnot to MCA Discovision. So yep, that's pretty cool. So yep, and this movie stars Robert Redford and Jane Fonda. So yeah, well, anyways, there's the front and there's the back right there. And let me go ahead and pull out a disc. All right, and here's what the disc looks like with the Discovision label right there. So yep, and The Electric Horseman, this is a pretty good movie as well. And one interesting thing I found out about this movie is the horse that they used in this movie, the horse that Robert Redford rode on in this film, was actually the same live action horse that they used for the TriStar Pictures logo, the first one from 1984. However, in the TriStar logo, they recolored the horse to make it look white, since the horse is actually dark. So yeah, they recolored it to be white for the TriStar logo. So yep, that is a really interesting thing to find out. So yeah, well, anyways, that's the MCA Discovision release of The Electric Horseman. Alright, and next up I got right here is an MCA video disc release of Dracula, released in 1979 by Universal. And this movie is kind of a remake of the 1931 film Dracula, which was also distributed by Universal. So yep, and this is a 1982 Laserdisc released by MCA Videodisc, in which the MCA Videodisc label followed right after MCA Discovision. And the MCA Videodisc label only went from like 1982 till 1983 or 84, and then afterwards Universal decided to just use the MCA Home Video label for their Laserdisc releases, since they were also using that label for their VHS and Betamax releases. So yeah, well, anyways, there's the front and the back. And let me go ahead and show you the disc itself. And there's the Laserdisc right there. So yep, that's the MCA Videodisc release of Dracula 79. Alright. And next up I got right here is another MCA Videodisc release, and that is Cat People, released in 1982 by Universal. And Cat People, this is a pretty good film. I mean, I remember watching this on HBO one time. So yep, and there's the back. And let me go ahead and show you the Laserdisc itself right there. So yep, that's the MCA Videodisc release of Cat People right there. So yep. Okay, next up I got right here is an MCA Home Video release of Legal Eagles, released in 1986 by Universal, and it stars Robert Redford and Daryl Hannah. So yeah, well, anyways, there's the front and the back. And this is a 1987 Laserdisc release from MCA Home Video. So, yeah. And let me go ahead and show you the disc itself. And there it is right there. So, yep, that's the MCA Home Video release of Legal Eagles. So, yep. And the last Universal Laserdisc tile that I picked up here is The Real McCoy, released in 1993 by Universal, and it stars Kim Basinger and Val Kilmer. So, yeah. And this is a 1994 MCA Universal Home Video release, and it's a letterboxed edition. So, yeah. Well, anyways, there's the front and the back. And let me show you guys the disc itself. And there it is, right there. So, yep, that's the MCA Universal Home Video Laserdisc release of The Real McCoy. So, yep. Okay, next up I got right here is one Paramount, two MGM, and one Touchstone Laserdisc. So, starting off, first I got here is the original Footloose from 1984, starring Kevin Bacon. And in my opinion, that 2011 remake wasn't all that good, in my opinion. I mean, nothing beats the classics to me. So, yeah, this is definitely the better version of Footloose. So, yeah, well, anyways, there's the front. And, of course, this is a Paramount Home Video Laserdisc release. So, yep, that's the front. And there's the back right there. And let me go ahead and show you the Laserdisc itself. And there it is, right there. And there's side one right there. So, yep, that's the Paramount Home Video Laserdisc release to Footloose from 1984. So, yep. Okay, next up I got right here is an MGM UA home video release of the classic Singing in the Rain from 1952. And this is a 1983 Laserdisc release from MGM UA home video. So, yeah, well, anyways, there's the front. And there's the back right there. And let me go ahead and show you the Laserdisc itself. And there's side 2 right there, and this is side 1. So, yep, that's the MGM UA home video Laserdisc release to Singing in the Rain right there. So, yep. Alright, and next up I got right here is a 1990 MGM UA home video Laserdisc release of Rocky 3, released in 1982 by United Artists. So, yep, and Rocky 3 is actually my favorite Rocky film in the series, next to Rocky 4. So, yep, and also this movie stars Mr. T as Clubber Yang, Rocky's opponent in this film. So, yep, and also I know that New Time Travel Hyman 88 also has the VHS version of this release of Rocky 3. So, yeah, well, anyways, there's the front and the back right there. And let me go ahead and show you guys the Laserdisc itself. And there it is right there. So, yep, that's the 1990 MGM UA home video Laserdisc release of Rocky 3 right there. Okay. And next up I got right here is a Touchstone home video Laserdisc release of Splash, released in 1984 by Touchstone Pictures. And of course, Touchstone is a subdivision of the Walt Disney Pictures Company, since Disney actually owns Touchstone Pictures. So yeah, and this is also the very first film released by Touchstone Pictures as well. So yep, that's pretty cool. And this is also one of Tom Hanks's earliest roles as well. So yeah, well, anyways, there's the front and the back. and let me go ahead and show you the Laserdisc itself. So, yep, that's the Laserdisc to Splash right there. So, yep, that's the Touchstone home video Laserdisc release of Splash from 1984. So, yep. And now I'm going to get on to the last stack of Laserdisc, which these are the Fox Laserdisc, as well as one Warner home video title as well. So, yeah, well, anyways, first off I have right here is a magnetic video Laserdisc release of West Side Story, released in 1961 by United Artists. So, yep, and magnetic video, this was kind of the precursor to CBS Fox Video, since magnetic video had released a bunch of films released by Fox, United Artists, as well as ITC Productions and Embassy onto home video in the early 80s. So yeah, well, anyways, there's the front and the back, and let me go ahead and show you the Laserdisc itself. And there it is right there, and there's the other side. So yep, that's the 1981 magnetic video Laserdisc release of West Side Story right there. So yeah. Okay, and next up I got right here is another magnetic video Laserdisc release, and that is The Omen, released in 1976 by 20th Century Fox. And The Omen, this is a great horror classic, and this movie was followed by 3 sequels and a 2006 remake as well. So yeah, well, anyways, there's the front and the back, and let me go ahead and show you the Laserdisc itself. Alright, and there it is. So yep, that's the 1981 magnetic video Laserdisc release of The Omen. Okay, moving on. Next up I got right here is a CBS Fox Video Laserdisc release of Cocoon, released in 1985 by 20th Century Fox. And Cocoon, this is another good movie. So yeah, well, anyways, there's the front and the back. And let me go ahead and show you the Laserdisc itself. And there it is, right there. So, yep, that's the 1986 CBS Fox Video release of Cocoon on Laserdisc as well. So, yep, there it is. Okay, and the very last Laserdisc I'm going to show for this update is the Warner Home Video Laserdisc release of Excalibur, released in 1981 by Orion Pictures. Now MGM currently owns the rights to the films released by Orion Pictures, but at the time Warner Brothers owned the company. So yeah, well, anyways, there's the front and the back, and Excalibur is a good movie. So yeah, well, anyways, let me go ahead and pull out one of these Laserdiscs. Okay, and there's the Laserdisc itself right there. So yep, that's the Warner Home Video Laserdisc release of Excalibur. So yep, there it is. Alright, and that should do for my huge Laserdisc update as of November 5th, 2013. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see y'all again soon. Peace.